What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Please follow my Instagram at RussoLifts, just in case something happens to this YouTube channel. You can follow, message, and you can watch my daily story content on Instagram. I'll see you there. What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Today is not a good video, right? I'm sure everyone has seen the news, but I just wanted to pay homage to Bostin. You know, this isn't like I'm gonna pretend like I was best friends with him. I'm gonna just, say my interactions with him and say what he did for the biohacking community. So Bostin Loyd, at the age of 29 years old, has passed away from what looks like a heart attack. The cause of death is unknown. The autopsy hasn't been performed. I'm not here to nitpick what it is. It's most likely a heart attack from what I've heard. He came home from the gym and collapsed, and yeah, that was that. As far as my interaction with Bostin goes, Bostin, I really had a lot of respect for him. I really looked up to him for going against, the flow as far as revealing the truth in bodybuilding. So yeah, it's tremendously sad. I normally refer to myself as the OG who documented it all and was super transparent, but Bostin Loyd is the OOOO motherfucking G of, documenting extreme enhanced bodybuilding, saying it how it is, not being afraid to speak his mind. And I pay so much homage to that. I've always had respect for that. And I liked Bostin, to be honest. Even with this beef I had with Leo in Boston, you guys all saw that. It was public from a few months ago in my videos. I'm gonna throw up the video call I had with him. That was a super low time in my life, I'm not gonna lie, and he easily could have tore me to shreds on that video call, and he didn't. He didn't. He was a real man. He came to me, he called me, we talked it out. By the end of the call, we were both laughing at each other, and, I thought I was going to be heated in that call with him. I thought he was going to be mean to me. There were wrongs on both sides of that, and I thought he was going to hold his ground, but, he was a real one, to be straight, just straight real. And yeah, he had all the ammunition to destroy me on that video call, to continue beefing me and nuke me, and he didn't do that. He chose a higher ground, and yeah, it's just sad. Before I get too emotional here, even though I didn't know him, right, I don't want to pretend like I'm best friends with him. For me, he's like the OG guy who trailblazed this path first, in my opinion, and I gotta pay homage to that. But bringing it back to reality, swallowing the black pill, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. There are consequences to extreme biohacking, right? You're going to face consequences. Taking everything to an extreme doesn't always equal, extreme results. It most likely equals extreme side effects. And Bostin definitely pushed the limit, set the limit, and exposed the limit, the truth about the limits that the other bodybuilders were pushing, but didn't have the balls to publicly state. Bostin had the balls to publicly state the extremeness going on, brought a lot of awareness to the extremeness going on, and he was definitely in the mix when it came to the extremeness in biohacking, bodybuilding, enhancement. And you can tell, even on the phone, when I had my conversation with him, this was what his passion. Coaching was his passion. He was super about his clients. He was always obsessed, in this lifestyle. He definitely did what he loved. But as far as what really matters, family really matters. Being there for your son really matters. And I'm sure he wanted to, redo some of his past, but you got to deal with the consequences you're dealt. And it's just sad. It's sad. My condolences go out to his wife, Ariella, as well as the son. I'm not pretending to know Bostin on that much of a personal level. I'm just saying, when I had the video call with him, he could have been a complete dick to me. He was the complete fucking opposite. Complete opposite. I was in a rough time in my life. I mean, I was definitely in a rough time in my life. I looked like shit. Didn't phase him. You can see on that video call I have up, he was cracking me up. He was all about my entrepreneurial ventures, and, you know, I was just caught on the crossfire. He said it how it was. We squashed it. And to be honest, he was the next guest I was going to try and get on blunt biohacking. You know, I feel like the epitome of blunt biohacking would be a character like Bostin. And it's just sad. You know, it's really sad. You know, I just want to harp that, like, people make fun of my monotone personality. People make fun of, like, oh, I'm dry. I should be more lively. You know, be more of a cloud character. Like, this shit is dangerous. Biohacking is dangerous. It's not meant to be taken lightly. It's meant to be taken extremely seriously when you take all the variables into your own hands. Shit can happen. Consequences can happen. And just being straight up, Bostin was super reckless. He liked to push the bar. He liked to set the bar. And he liked to expose the bar that other people were setting as far as the extremeness in bodybuilding goes, which that's as raw and real as it gets. But eventually you gotta smell the roses and be like, you know, this is a lot of damage here. And with that peptide thing, I know he was having a lot of kidney issues, and if you don't fully know that story, it was a peptide that kills fat cells. If you read into the actual literature around it, the mice studies they all suffered acute kidney injury, all the mice in the study, and Bostin decided to do like way more than the recommended dose, and he injected it in his stubborn lower back fat, which is also where your kidneys are located. So it's just not, you know, when you're doing that type of stuff, you got to take into consideration family is everything at the end of the day, and you're not just hurting your own body, right? This goes more than just you. You know, bodybuilding is a narcissistic thing. Everyone gets that. It helps uplift other people, other males, by sharing the information and providing, you know, the harm mitigation methods and the side effects to make informed decisions. But when it comes to these extreme pushing the boundaries, you know, there are consequences. And Bostin is not the only, you know, biohacker dude who really pushed enhancement to the limit that I've seen in my life pay extreme consequences. I'm not going to name drop the other guys, and there are two other guys really close to me who also have big followings that paid some extreme consequences, but they lucked out with the cards they were dealt, and they got around those extreme concerning issues. Bostin wasn't so lucky. Not everyone lucks out like that. And at the end of the day, the people who are going to truly hurt and mourn is Ariella and Bostin's son. So when I see this resurgence on YouTube about, oh, low doses are shit, like, push the dosages to the extreme, otherwise you're wasting your time, like, you know, fuck harm mitigating, just go hard, they're lying, you know, stupid harm mitigation. Like, when you go down that road, there's more consequences. I can tell you from an endocrinology standpoint that a simple, which you would consider a low dosage of 250 milligrams of testosterone impacts biomarkers significantly to need harm mitigation methods to reduce the side effects. Now, when you add grams of gear, fat burners, these obscure peptides, you're definitely in, you know, it's like modifying a car. The race car, you tune it up, it can run a lot of boost for a period of time. Then you got to either turn down the boost, live out the car's rest of the life, or you keep pushing it, something eventually will happen, right? You might be able to get away with it for a long time with nothing concerning, but something in the engine will let go, right? Something will happen when you're pushing it to the extreme, redlining for that long. And it's sad that a real one like Bostin has to face that. But, you know, take it with a learning lesson. You know, there's a lot of guys out there who are a lot less strategic than Bostin, who are pushing it even more extreme than Bostin. Bostin's just the target because he revealed everything. He revealed the truth. He wasn't afraid of any of the negativity thrown his way with his extreme, you know, experiments, his extreme cycles. But what Bostin was doing was showing what all these other extreme dudes who are suffering from body dysmorphia, who are constantly pushing the bar to the limit, redlining their bodies. He was just the real one, being real about it, right? He had no shame. And I have the utmost fucking respect for that. Like, you can't just point the finger at Bostin and be like, oh, he's the only idiot, right? No, he was just revealing what all these people who push it to the extreme are going through and will eventually face turmoil like that. At the end of the day, family's really the only thing that matters. And if you're, you know, in this abuse, this addictive abuse of PEDs to a point where, you know, you're ignoring your blood work, you're just redlining the drugs all the time, and that's all you care about, like, it's not going to be a happy ending. And Bostin was suffering long before, you know, his fate, right? With the kidney failure, I think it was stage 4 or stage 5. You had Leo trying to mitigate and help him. And you also, you know, it was indicative that he needed a transplant. But yeah, you know, this isn't a happy video. I just wanted to pay homage to the O fucking G of making bodybuilding 1,000 times more transparent. He was the fucking catalyst that sent the industry towards the truth and opened the doors for harm mitigation to even come into the mix. You know, sure, he was the extreme abuse category, and sure, he pushed the limits himself, but it's not just him, right? He had the balls to show it for what it was. He had the balls to show the actual dosages for what it was. But at the end of the day, when you push it that hard, there are consequences. And I don't want this to come off in no negative connotation. Like I said, he put a fucking smile on my face. And it's just rough. It's rough. I wanted him on Blunt Biohacking. I wanted to, you know, interact with him more, honestly. And it was super awesome that he, you know, he defused the bomb very quickly with me. Super cordial with me, super real with me, said it how it was, said I got caught up in the crossfire, and that was that. We squashed it. He was a real man. He backed up his words. He came on video call with me out of his busy day, and, you know, I don't know what to say. I'm just paying my homage to Bostin because he's the OG. I ain't the OG. He's the OG. And I don't think anyone will come along that's as viciously transparent as he was and made the splash he did back in the era.
Rocker.
And yeah, 29's too young. 29 is way too young. And my condolences go out to the family. Yeah. I just want to pay homage, man. He's a G. I'll see you guys in my next one.